Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna talk about two changes in balancing adjustments that just happened. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And comment what you think about these changes. I think that most people won't be pleased with one of these changes. The other one is kind of okay-ish. It's significant, noticeable, I can tell you that. So, it says, thank you for playing Action Taimanin. The following is the pre-notice for changes, including supporter balancing adjustment that will be applied after the scheduled maintenance. And they mention this on the maintenance notes. If you go to news, I cannot. In the news, it also redirects you to this part because they mentioned the changes that they applied. So let's see what they did. Supporter, you are Torajiro. Before, stats are based on S level 1. So the sub, when performing a melee attack, has a 15% chance to increase the duration of 2 buffs by 1 second. And the main, roar loudly and deals damage to surrounding enemies, making them groggy. If the enemy is a human, their speed is decreased by 15% for 5 seconds. And what is the change? Increase damage dealt to all enemies by 15%. Nice! So it's a kind of a Stella, a green Stella. Very good. Except that they move this to a passive on the active. And that is very significant. So the effect is now changed here. I'm going to show you. Here I have the old one. And here I have the new one. Let's go to inventory, to supporters, and here we have Torajiro. So one more time. The old one, 2 seconds of increase, and now it's 1.5 seconds. But the really important part is that they just change the passive, the main passive, into an active passive. And what's the big difference there? That you cannot equip this in the sub slot and receive the benefit of having this effect, the extended duration. Gremory, I think this was a mistake. I understand the implications, especially with the addition of supporters that increase the speed and weapons that increase the speed. Like, let's say, No, I didn't. The addition of things like Nagi, Lapis, the Wonderbird. These are going to increase your speed and you're going to have more chances to apply these effects. And with more characters, you're going to be able to abuse invincibility. I totally get that, but I mean, it is also bad that invincibility was kind of OP when it first released, and then it dropped, and then it came back thanks to Torajiro, and now they're saying no, it is too busted. I totally get that, but I think they should have balanced it in a different way. I mean, maybe they could just have like works on some buffs and just mention the exceptions, like invincibility. I know it's too busted, so maybe it doesn't work on invincibility or something, but that would work with super armor and with everything else, and having it on the sub slot is very, very valuable regardless of invincibility, because this supporter doesn't have an active that gives you a buff. So what's the real value of actually equipping this if you don't have an active to use it? Okay, let's see. So if we're going to use it on VR, maybe you can use it with Sledge. Where is Sledge? Emily. Here. Sledge of Blessing. This is going to give you a buff and you're going to increase the duration if you're using Torajiro. Okay, that's a thing. Also, if you're using, I don't know, Shizuru, and you use Rose Rondo with this weapon, you're gonna get another buff. Okay, that's noticeable. That's good. That's fine. Those stack buffs are pretty good. But for the most part, characters have like attack buffs, maybe a defensive buff, critical buffs. They don't apply invincibility to themselves. The only exception is Sakura and technically, where is she? Heaviko. Those two can apply invincibility with Lionheart, and Lionheart is unaffected by this. I'll call it a rework of Torajiro. Where is Lionheart? Fortunately, Lionheart, you can still use that strategy. It still has the same problem that you need to be facing mobs to take advantage of this. But it is even better because now you also have a damage multiplier on Torajiro. That's a good thing. The bad thing is that you cannot do the invincibility strategies now. I mean, unless we receive supporters, which it's not. It is possible that we receive something like that, like a supporter that gives invincibility for the whole party, especially considering that we're gonna receive this new PvP mode with multiple characters at the same time. So, well, I assume that's gonna be the case. So, yeah, getting a new kind of invincibility supporter like let's say like a Spica or like Yuno. Oh, here I have the other one. Let's say like Yuno, but it gives invincibility for the whole party. Yeah, that would force us to roll on that, and then one of our characters can have Torajiro and just dedicate itself to attack us as fast as possible, and they're gonna be unstoppable. Yeah, but I mean it's really really bad that Gremory did this change. I think that it wasn't optimal. I mean, I think we can convince them to change it back and tweak it in a different way, because I really want that passive on the main slot rather on the active slot. Even if they omit invincibility, I prefer to have the versatility to equip a different main supporter. That is really, really valuable. So it is a shame. It is a shame that it was too broken and Gremory decided to nerf it a little bit, but I think they overdid it. Because Torajiro doesn't have anything on the main. I mean, it would have been a little bit justified if they added a buff on Torajiro's active, but they didn't. So what's the appeal? Whatever buffs your character innately has, or the buffs that your other characters can provide on a stage like VR? Is that it? Like, I think that Gremory is not going to do any other changes to this one, and they're just going to add supporters that can apply invincibility to the whole party, and they're gonna say, well, now you have it again, and you have to roll for that new supporter. But yeah, I like this part, but I don't think they should have moved the main passive to an active passive. That's really, really bad for Torajiro. And this video is all about Torajiro, basically. So, well, that's not the only thing that happened, just so that you know. The other change that happened, to the supporter Torajiro has been favored by many commanders due to her remarkable utility. Correct, and that was a good thing. However, we adjust some of her skills because she has been more effective than she was designed to be. Yeah, I think you overdid it. You shouldn't have done it that way. Just remove the invincibility from the selection, or maybe like we get only half a second or 1 second of extended duration for invincibility, so that it has a chance to actually go down. Maybe that would have been better and more balanced instead of moving the main passive. It's horrible. Well, defensive stat. That's another thing that changed, and it's noticeable. I can tell you that. I was testing Noah Brown to talk about her rework. But I was facing tower 100, floor 100, and I was able to beat it multiple times with different builds. And I was like, wow, is she that strong? Is this viable? No, because I shouldn't be making that much damage. And it's this. The defense stat will have changes as follows. Revise the formula that modifies defense stat to damage reduction rate. So yeah, the defense, we're gonna deal more damage even if our characters are not as leveled, depending on content. Revise the way how the upgrade defense is applied, and change the maximum number of increased defense from the upgrade defense. Before 20%, change to 50%. So I guess they can increase more their defense now, but the formula works different. That's the thing. Based on the level 25. Apply the maximum limit to the damage reduction rate. Twist the unsatisfactory gameplay experience during combats, especially in Battle Arena. Yes, this is because of Battle Arena. Because characters can deal damage when the opponent has reached more than a certain defensive stat. We have adjusted some formulas and numbers related to the defensive stat. We will watch the changes. The adjustments will bring and do our... We will watch what changes the adjustments will bring and do our best to provide a better gameplay experience. So let's go back. No, not like that. Let's see. Can I just erase this and... Yeah, here. Maintenance. So here on the update for today, well, for yesterday technically, here we can see pick up gacha. Here, improvements and bug fixes. So I didn't mention this, by the way. The private room has been changed and it has the poses function. We can check that quickly. Two changes. It is the page that the website that I just showed you. The balance of random effects in Taimanin 5 VR has been adjusted. So that's a good thing, I guess. So adjustment in particle depletion effect upon being hit. So 10%, 30%, 50%, depending on the step, has been adjusted so that it's not as aggressive. That's good, I guess. It makes it easier. So if you want to tackle higher steps now, it's going to be easier. Adjustment to the increase in skill cooldown time upon being hit. Yeah, this was way too aggressive, to be honest. So from 15 seconds, now it has been changed to 3 seconds. Instead of being a 15. No, that was fine. The 15 was fine. Now it's only a 5% chance of reducing the cooldown. They didn't need to do that. The timer was what they needed. They could also increase this. It could be like 20 or 30%, but with 3-second cooldown. Because 15 was just way too aggressive. It was like I was doing my strategy and then suddenly, oh god, what happened? I can't heal myself now. So yeah, it is okay that they make these changes. Obviously, these changes depending on the step. So for example, 20 seconds at a 20% chance. Now it's 4 seconds at a 10% chance on the step 30. Adjustments to the increase in support skill cooldown time upon being hit. In step 20, 15%, 10 seconds. Now it's 5%, 5 seconds. So yeah, it is less aggressive. Then that's kind of good. I mean, I like it. I think that this will allow players to actually redeem those gems, and you will be able to deal more damage. Yeah, I have a mixture of feelings. Like, now it's easier, and that's not nice. I like sharing content, but it's also okay because you can just increase the steps that you were farming, and it is challenging once again because the enemy has more HP, so it's okay. It's balanced. And I guess Asagimania is going to go further into tower now, thanks to these changes. Box fixes. So we have a couple box fixes, but that's whatever. So, yeah. Gremory. Why? What can we do about this? Please, guys, be sure to comment both here and also on the Reddit and on social media, on Gremory's social media, what you think about this change. I gotta admit, it is not ideal. Being forced to use this on the main diminishes a lot, and I mean a lot, the value of Torajiro. She was meant to be something different, not Stella. Which Stella is nice and all, and having that effect on another color is I mean, it's good, it's nice, but no, Torajiro was supposed to be a buff extender. I mean, I don't know what other buffs can be considered like busted in regards to in Gremory's opinion, but I would just recommend that Torajiro gives less time for a selection of busted effects so that we can abuse them that much. Instead of giving a second, just 0.5 seconds. That would be good for those specific buffs, and the rest of the buffs 2 seconds. I don't know. Please let me know in the comments what suggestions do you give to Gremory. I mean, I think they would be willing to change it once again for something more balanced, because they know they did an oopsie and it was just too busted, making challenging content obsolete, and in fact probably many players were able to reach the tower VR step 100 because of not here, because of that supporter. So yeah. Well, and besides, before I forget, there's a handful of supporters which have that effect. Like I remember that, if I'm not mistaken, Sakura. Where is Sakura? It's before this one. No, I don't see it. I'm just going to do this. That's why I don't see her. Okay, so Sakura has the same effect. During melee attacks, has a 25% chance, way better, to increase the duration of one buff on oneself by 2 seconds. So now Sakura is a better Torajiro than Torajiro was. That Torajiro is, because she was way better than what Sakura is right now. But now Torajiro is just... It lost her stocks. Yeah, definitely. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. What proposals do you have to rebalance Torajiro? Because this is unsatisfactory and it is not what they advertise. And I know they can rebalance the game however they want, but was this all she was meant to do? Extend the poor buffs that characters are able to get by themselves? Like, for example, let's go with very quickly, just to finish. Yeah. And this is one of the best buffs that you can get. Increase critical damage by 50% for 7 seconds. But usually what you get is increased damage by 10% for 10 seconds. A 10% damage increase, isn't that great? It's not really worth it. So Gremory, you just butchered this poor supporter. Please think of another way to rebalance this, because this is completely unsatisfactory. I forget how to say so, but I already spent this month, but knowing what they did, I would have hold my wallet just to make a point, but Like, I was just testing Noah with the new weapon and such, and then I just like, I'm gonna use Torajiro to do this strategy with invincibility because I can't beat Edwin with green. And I was like, wait, what happened with Torajiro? I was pleased about the damage increase, but moving that passive changes completely what Torajiro can do. So, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!